Hey, one more World Entertainment, and we're talking about Supergirl, because here she is, the disaster that was. But we're not talking about its box office disaster. We're not talking about it now already being out of the cinemas and being on streaming and stuff like that. No. There's new controversy going towards this movie. And it's a controversy I definitely didn't see coming, and I don't think anyone else really did. And it's about the use of AI. Yep. Apparently they used AI in the movie, and one particular thing they used it for, which makes zero sense to me, to be honest with you, was the design of Lobo. Yep, you heard that right. They used AI to design Lobo, as opposed to just looking at the comic books, I suppose. There's articles that, a behind the scenes image came out and showed them using AI to make the design for Lobo. Apparently it goes further than this, and now word is coming out as well that apparently there's going to be a lot of it used in Man of Tomorrow. So obviously there's a wave of backlash. Now, this image here, if this is what they did with AI, honestly, is it that big of a deal? Because clearly they just want to use an image of Jason Momoa and then be able to add it. Do you need AI to do that? Probably not. But at the same time, I don't think that part's a big deal. That type of stuff I don't think is much, because that is what AI is essentially there for. Is a tool like this, where it's like, hey, rather than doing concept art, as in like struggling to draw out an actor and then add in like designs and stuff, like what James Cameron did for Terminator. He had the original design of Terminator, which was Lance Henriksen, one side and the endoskeleton on the other, and then when he spoke to Arnold and thought Arnold's a good fit, and he changed it and made it Arnold. Whereas now they can just use the AI. Oops, hit the microphone there. Oopsie poopsies, as they say. And you can now just go like image of the actor and then use it that way. I'm fine with that. It's when you start making scenes and people and stuff like that where you're using AI. That's where I have the issue. But the likes of this part, I don't have that much of an issue with, because that is what it's there for. But let's take a look at this anyway, because it is kind of like, where do you draw the line for the use of AI, and where do you kind of go, look, you're kind of overthinking. So it's saying here anyway, Supergirl, it always does that, it always goes bloody dark. Supergirl was an unmitigated disaster for DC Studios. While the movie has its fair share of fans, all of 5 of them, it was a critical failure, 52% on Rotten Tomatoes, and one of the biggest superhero movie box office flops ever. Earlier this month, Supergirl ended its time in theaters with a dismal $125.8 million. Sheesh. Making it the lowest grossing DC movie since 2004's Catwoman. Now, by the way, once you adjust the Catwoman's numbers for inflation, Catwoman has made more money than it, but yeah, which is insane, because Catwoman, good God, that movie was god-awful. So now the movie is being criticized on social media after an officially released featurette revealed that AI was used while establishing what Jason Momoa would look like as Lobo. Now again, are you really going to lose your shit over that? As opposed to, number one, the movie just being god-awful, the story being god-awful, using Tom King was god-awful. As opposed to them using AI for exactly what AI is there for. Like, this is what you use it for. But, like, if they used it to make Jason Momoa in the movie completely AI, then you got issues. So, it's saying here, anyway, the video, which was pulled from YouTube by Warner Bros. Discovery mere moments ago, which was yesterday, I think, as we write this, shows Supergirl director Craig Gillespie discussing various Lobo designs with Momoa. All of them have been created with generative AI and were used to make key creative decisions. If this video is any indication, Lobo has been appearing in comic books since 1983 when he was created by Roger Slife? I'm not sure how you really pronounce that. Slifer, I think. And Keith Giffen. He's appeared hundreds, if not thousands of times since then, but DC Studios, or Gillespie at least, decided that AI was a better way to bring the main man to life than comic book artwork or concept artists. Which is what I was talking about. Like, if you're trying to go, well, how do we make him look? Just use the comic book. The idea of not using the concept artists, again, that is where you kind of go, do we take the time to have them draw multiple images out, or do we just use AI like this? Personally, for me, like, I don't have a problem with this, but at the same time, I do prefer the concept artists' takes on these things. So the use of AI may explain why Supergirl looks so drab, as one of the biggest complaints from fans was the lack of colour, despite the movie being inspired by the visually stunning Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow comic book. Yeah, whatever. Using AI to design Lobo may have been purely down to Gillespie or a wider problem in DC Studios that this featurette has exposed. It's a little baffling that Warner Bros. Discovery included this in official material for Supergirl, and it will be interesting to see what, if anything, James Gunn and Peter Safran have to say about this. Look, again, they're really kind of leaning into, oh, this is such a problem here, what they did with the AI, where they used AI for exactly what it's meant to be used for. Again, if we were told Jason Momoa's Lobo in the movie was completely AI, then lose your shit. If we were told, hey, half of the movie was actually AI generated, lose your shit. If it's just coming up with concept designs and stuff, don't really think that's that much of a big deal. But of course, it's saying Supergirl is set to have a lead role in Man of Tomorrow, and there have already been some strong hints that another project is lined up for the Woman of Tomorrow after that. Yeah, right. Millie Alcock received widespread acclaim for her performance as Kara Zor-El from S.H.I.E.L.D. and no one else. Blah, blah, blah. And it goes on. This one doesn't have the story. I saw it yesterday. I thought it was in this one, but this one doesn't have the story that they're saying it looks like it's a ton of AI is going to be used in Man of Tomorrow as well. This is the clip, but if Warner Brothers are pulling it down, I'm not going to play it because they'll probably block the video. Look, again, this is where AI is this thing of confusion and stuff. It's like, what do you use it for? And in this case, I think they're using it for what it's designed to do. It's just like, hey, let's see what kind of different designs the thing can come up with for a look for Momoa. Now, they're probably, I would assume, I haven't watched the clip, so I don't know quite what's in it and how much it goes into what they did with it. But, like, does it change, like, designs on his arms? Does it design the clothes or something? I doubt it's going to completely change the facial look, because they really did kind of stick with the comics for that. But if you're just using it for this, like, is it that big of a deal for using the thing for what it should be used for, which is to do this type of stuff, as opposed to, as I said, making actual scenes and movies and stuff completely through AI? I don't know. I think people are kind of just jumping on and they just see AI and immediately attack. So, look, it's here to stay, unfortunately. They're not going to get rid of it. It's just, how do you use it? That's where the real questions come up. And for this, I think it's fine. Yeah, like, why didn't you just go off with the comic design, or why didn't you just get an artist? Okay, but that's not a big deal to me. That's using it for what it's there for. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think this is a big deal? Do you think they should have just used artists, or just went, hey, Momoa, just stick on the makeup and see what it comes out like. Let me know what you think, or do you think this is just a lot of nothing? Let me know in the comments. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like, share, subscribe, hit that hype button, all that good stuff. Check out memberships if you're interested. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.